Hi there. So today I'm going to show you a really simple trellis that you can build in your home garden to use if you're planting pole beans or tall peas. So what I use is, we've got a lot of woods around here, so I just go out and find some kind of tall branches to use as stakes, and then just kind of break off the extra bits. If you don't have woods around or sticks, you can easily just buy bamboo stakes at your garden center. And so that's definitely another option. So you're just going to use 2 of them at each end. So I've got 1 stake here. And then I'll put another stake on the other end of the bed. Just like this. Just push it in as far as it goes. And they're going to make them cross because that's going to give them a little bit of stability. So at the point where they cross, we're just going to put a little bit of string to strengthen that joint. I think I'm going to move it up a little bit, so it's about here. And so we're basically just going to tie off this area. Like this. And then we're going to figure out about how long we want the trellis to be. And in this case, I've got a stick that's probably about 5 feet long. So we want the stick to be able to rest in here, and then the next set of stakes will go in at the end of the stick. So probably right about in here. So again, I'll just push this right in. And then the same on this side. Get that right in there. And then again, the point where they cross. Just going to tie this off. And if you've got pretty solid soil, you can also point the end of the sticks, and that'll make them go in a little bit easier. But again, bamboo stakes from your garden center work really well for this as well. So I'm just tying off these sticks together. There we are. And I'll kind of firm the soil in around the bottom. And then we'll run this stick across the top. And then again, I'm going to tie this where it meets, just to keep it on there and give it a little bit more support. And then I'm going to come around to the front of the trellis and run some string just along the bottom here first. So I'm going to tie it to the base of this stake. You want it fairly low down. And then And then I'm going to run strings between this bottom string and the top cross piece we put on there. So usually just tie it onto the bottom stake to start. And then we're just going to run it up and around that top piece. And then back down. And we're just going to do this all along this side. And for string on this, I'm using like a sisal twine or a jute twine. So it's one that decomposes really easily. So at the end of the season, you can just cut all your bean vines down and toss them in the compost. You don't actually have to untangle the string, which is really nice. And then when I get to the other end, I just tie it off at the other side of the trellis. And then you can do the same thing on the back side if you want to do another row of beans on the back side. And then you've got a spot to plant your beans. I usually just make a trench right along the bottom and I put my bean seeds in, and then they'll grow up and they'll find this string and grow right up. So that's how you can make a really simple trellis for your beans or peas in your garden.